Have you picked your word for 2025? Here's where I like to start. Where do I feel depleted right now is what I like to start with because looking back over this year, I hear a lot of different things about how everybody experienced 2024. It wasn't the greatest for everybody. It wasn't the worst for everybody. Everybody's kind of like run the gamut on different experiences. So, what I want you to ask yourself is where do I feel depleted in this year? What did I feel like I needed more of? What did I feel like I needed less of? What did I have too much of? What did I not have enough of? What did I love doing? And what do I want to not do again? That's how I do my review of the year. If you're like me, I feel like the year goes by so fast that it's easy to forget everything that I've done in the year. So I like to keep a running update of accomplishments and I like to look back over those accomplishments. I don't keep a running list of failures, though I do note for myself that Pinterest didn't work for me this year. Should I spend more time on that or less time on that when I'm looking at planning next year? But overall, the first thing I'm doing is ask myself, what do I want more of? What do I want less of? Those are big questions. So I want you to start there. I really love journaling as a process, but if journaling isn't your jam, take a cue from some of my friends. You can just open the voice notes app on your phone and just talk to your phone like it's a friend. That actually really helps get your thoughts going, get your mind churning. And then when you go back and listen later, you'll be surprised what came out. So that's what I want you to do. First, I want you to sit down with those questions and then let the answers unfold for you. Number two, I want you to take note of what surprises you about your answers. What did you not expect? What came in that was exciting and surprising and glorious? Look at your answers and see where you are surprised. And that's how we get to number three, which is narrowing down your list of words. From what you've done in exercise 1 and 2, I want you to look at words that stick out to you. And I want you to pay attention to which of those words lit something up in you, made you excited to start into 2025. What's the word? My word for 2025 is power. What I noticed for myself in 2024 is that when I stepped more into myself, when I stepped more into my voice, into my art, I felt more embodied and I felt more powerful. But I also noticed where I felt like I was giving my power away to other people who were asking for it, maybe without even knowing it, when I could have been calling my power back to me. When I reviewed my 2024, what I noticed was when I made the art I loved the most, when I made the work I loved the most, when I felt best in the projects, it's when I felt really centered in my own personal power. And that is something that I want to call in more and more and more in the coming year in 2025. I have a tendency to give away my power because I'm a classic people pleaser. Is that you? I have a tendency to give that away. So for 2025, I want to sit in my power. I want to put that first for me because that's where I do my best work. That's where I get my best ideas. That's where I do my best creative work. So coming back to that pull of what is my power here? How do I sit in my power? How do I operate from a place of personal power? That's how that came up. What is coming up for you? Now, how are we going to take your 2025 word of the year and make it something that's represented in your visuals? This to me actually comes back to branding. One of the first things that we're doing when we are planning your photo and video shoot is we are asking, what are your keywords? What are your brand keywords? Now, this is something that you've already done in the branding process. And it's something that is woven throughout your brand, throughout all of your aesthetics, whether it's the design or the copy or the photo and video. Your keywords are present in all of those moments. And so it's the same thing. We want to take your word of the year and start to weave it, let it inform your visuals, right? So for me, if my word is power, then every photo I take, I'm going to ask myself, where am I finding the power in this moment? How do I let the power shine out of my face? I want you to ask yourself, where do I find this specific word in my visual? How do I represent this word in my visual? Does this visual speak to that word? And it doesn't have to be literal and it doesn't have to be a 100%. Maybe it speaks to it 20%, 80%. But I want you to continually ask yourself throughout the year, am I threading my word of the year throughout my life, throughout my work, throughout my creativity, throughout my business, throughout my brand? Am I seeing that word represented in what I'm doing? So it's really something that stays present for you and top of mind. I love to make a vision board for the year and put this word in it and then keep that vision board where I can see it all the time, like my laptop background, so that it's always present and always top of mind. So that's how that comes to play and comes to mind for me. How does it come to mind for you? Tell me in the comments. I want to know everything. I want to know if this was helpful or if you want to know more, leave your questions and I will make a video for those too.